And welcome to another episode of Soul Powered Revolution. We are visiting a very common topic today. And before we dive in, I want to introduce my co-anchor here, Stacey Citrin, our leadership and executive coach. And between the two of us, about 70 years of corporate experience. And we've been coaching managers, leaders, executives for 10 years, and we've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours helping women lift up their careers and themselves through soul power and great strategy, tools and techniques that we have developed and honed in over our professional lives, and also through all of our coaching. We've seen a lot of examples and scenarios that we lived through ourselves in our professional executive careers. And what I want to talk about today, we are a couple of weeks into the new year. And I've spent the last couple of weeks coaching on new year goal setting and how we can make goal setting and new year, new you a reality and not just gimmicky language. Stacey, every year we have a Jumpstart January with our clients.
Mhm. Yeah.
A couple of hundred women show up for that every first Saturday in January. And we go through a methodology that I created 20 plus years ago for myself, which we call the 8x8. And it's more than goal setting, but it is goal setting. But we have reflection and we have identification of what didn't quite go so well or where we got hung up or what some of the themes and trends that keep getting us stuck or in trouble. I don't say trouble for like more of a personal thing. As I reflect on the types of years that people can have, there's really four different types of years. And how we reflect on that is going to be important based on the different type of year because it'll springboard us into what it is that we have to alter or change or how deep we might have to alter or change. And the way I look at it, we either have a year that has pushed us back where we've regressed, gone backwards as a human. We might have a year that was static, although static is pretty tough these days because there's so much change swirling around us. But you may have had the same job, same relationship, same kids, same church, same car, same house, whatever. Not much has changed, static. You might have had a growth year where you've really pushed yourself and propelled yourself forward. And then the other fourth category I would consider would be to have an epic year where so much went according to plan, went well, and you really experienced another stratosphere of awesomeness. And each of these types of years, the regressive, the static, the growth, and the epic, have little tricky points to them. I've had about 2 years of regressive. I've had
Hmm.
some tough years. Coaching business has changed. I've had a lot of personal health issues, a lot of family deaths. Like it has not been fun. But since I'm also a growth minded human being, I have dived in to my personal growth even more. So that regressive creates more of a pain scenario. The static is sort of like complacency lulling us into some hypnotic drifting state where we're not even like really caring about much. The growth is celebrations and good things happening, which could be a bit exhausting. It could trip us up into things that are beyond our stretch zone. We have the uh what's that state of having the top what's I'm blanking on the word right now.
Euphoria,
No, that like when you hit a top level and
stratosphere.
no, it's like a limiting place. We only think we can be so good. I'm gonna think of the word. It was
Yeah, you'll
coined
get it.
by it was coined by the book The Big Leap. It'll
Oh, upper limit,
thank you. Upper
hmm
limit problem. Where
upper limiting.
upper limit,
Yep.
where we have growth and expansion, but then it's like beyond what we think we are capable of or can handle or whatever we ever thought. So we self-sabotage in that greatness. And then having an epic year means that you've been stretched so much, you may have mental and spiritual exhaustion. And if you're not taking the time to fill your cup back up, that epic year could also be an upper limit problem. So, as we've been coaching our clients through this new year, new you, and moving through the reflection of these types of years, what type of year do you think that you've been coaching on the most over
Ooh,
these last couple
that's
of weeks, Stacey?
yeah, yeah. Um, I have to say it's a mix, and I'm also going to say, you do Jumpstart January, so there's 8 categories that our clients
Mhm.
focus on.
Yeah.
And what I have found to be true lately when going through some of that with the clients is some of them they really excelled at, while
Yeah.
some they may have not touched at
Right.
all,
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
or maybe stayed the same, or did not have the growth they thought. Which, I say if you were able to leap in a few of these categories, you're on your way. You're not going to do a complete change in
Yeah.
1 year. It's just like when
Hmm.
we were training for a marathon, and I know you ran marathons even before me. You don't
Hmm.
get up and run a marathon.
Right. A lot of
So
planning.
goals and goal setting and mindset is a marathon, and it's over and over a marathon.
And to go through the ups and downs of marathon training slash life living, you have to have your commitment to
A
what it
plan.
is that you're going after, and it has to have more meaning than just doing a thing. It can't be just an accomplishment. It has to be something that has deep emotional meaning. So, my personal example of having 2 years where I was basically being pushed backwards because a lot of negative, tough, challenging things were happening, I had to do a lot of inner work to keep myself above water and also to use it as a growth opportunity for me.
Yes,
When we
and to
have massive
and to stay in the
challenges,
mindset.
exactly, we can't let it take us into a version of ourselves that we left 20 years ago. And if you're having a static year, have you had any static year clients that you can think of right now? Probably not, because our clients are all growth
Mm,
minded
mm.
individuals.
Some of the newer ones, and frankly,
Mhm.
that's why they came to coaching in the first place.
That's true.
Or one of the reasons is
Yeah.
they are static. They're not leaping. They're not moving forward.
Hmm.
Or, they don't have what is the word I'm looking for? Systems or the inner strength
Yeah.
um,
Or the soul
to
power.
do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, the clients who have been with us a long time. No, they're all moving forward, but
Yeah.
can't always be there in every topic every year, and that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
It's recognizing it and wanting to do something about it.
Right. Let me just rattle off the 8 topics that are in our 8 by 8, because if you're listening and you're new to my stuff, maybe you want to just have some sense of what a whole life would include. And this is coming from a career coaching, leadership coaching perspective. So we have career and life purpose sort of blended as one issue. We have professional growth. We have relationships, spiritual alignment, home and surroundings, rest, recovery, and recreation, well being and physical health, and financial abundance. So
Yeah.
those eight
And the
topics.
professional growth, Mo, I want to say is the
Sure.
clients, your
Yes, yes,
professional
yes, yes,
growth,
yes.
not you being a better manager.
Right.
That's in your career. Your professional growth is what are you doing for you?
Building a network,
Yeah.
going to conferences.
Yes.
I'm going to say getting other certifications, but I have a bias against not spending time doing all
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that,
Whatever
but more
whatever your
advancing
thing is.
yourself
Yeah.
professionally within your own initiative so that you're creating longer term value for yourself professionally. So, again, those 8 categories are career, professional growth, relationships, spiritual, home and surroundings, rest, recovery, physical health, financial abundance. And if you are pushed back in one or two of those categories, you may still have had a growth year.
Hmm.
If you have had an epic year, you've probably excelled in like 4 or 5 of those areas. And to your point, Stace, no one has like 8 epics. I mean,
Right.
maybe, but that would be sort of like next to impossible. You're going to have some of those 8 issues that may not be keeping the pace of the others. But if you have 3 or 4 of those items that are really rocking it, you have an epic year, you have a growth year. And to sustain that, you need to keep crafting an identity that allows you to have expansion so that you don't go into self sabotage mode. If you've had regression or a static year or years, you have to commit to pulling yourself forward in ways that are going to keep your eyes on the prize, so to speak, and give you that big emotional why this is important for you. Otherwise, your subconscious will give up because it's probably tired of pushing.
Mhm.
And these are important aspects of how we help our clients create goals and create their emotional connection to their goals. Stacey, for years you've been doing this life balance wheel on these 8 items when women come in before the 12-week program and
Yeah.
afterwards. What's been the experience basically on how women would define at least that 12-week time, which is a quarter of a year? What's the shift that you've seen over the years on these clients?
A lot of them, when I go through it at the end of the 12 weeks, and because what I do is I get their, we do it numerically. And so I get their new answers. Where are you now? And we go through every single category.
Mm-hmm.
And after they give me the number, I tell them what they were at the beginning.
Yeah.
Most of them say, I was in denial
Oh, so sometimes they scored themselves too high.
at the beginning.
Yeah,
But when they
thinking,
do
oh,
that
everything's
at the
fine with that.
beginning,
Yeah,
when they do at the beginning, I don't tell them they're in denial.
sure.
I just do it and let's see what happens.
Right.
And 9 out of 10, and by the way, there's in the program, one of ours is one of the categories is relationships. Isn't that one of the
Yep,
categories in the
it
API?
is.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah. Um, Even though the program's focused on career, 9 times out of 10, their primary relationship is better.
Yes.
And sometimes the primary relationship they really realize was them. Because even though they have a
Uh-oh.
significant other, a spouse, right, they realized they
Yeah,
weren't doing enough
yeah,
for them.
yeah.
So when they did,
Mm-hmm.
their relationship with the partner
Yeah,
got better.
yeah. It's funny that you're talking about that specifically because we have a client. I have a client who was very early in the program, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. And she has since become a very visible person on Facebook, doing things with the Akashic Records and really sort of lifting up. She was a customer service director, and she did a great job with that. And she's decided to do some of the more personal leadership and soul stuff as well. And I remember every time I see her, I remember the coaching that I did with her. When she was about 6 weeks into the program, she said to me, Mo, I have to tell you something. I said, what's that? My husband has noticed the difference, and he said to me, I no longer have a needy, nagging wife.
Mm, yeah,
And I'm thinking to
you
myself,
could see it.
you were needy and nagging. I see. Okay. And when she became full and whole in herself, she didn't need to chip at someone else. And as a
Yeah,
mother of two young kids, beautiful, lovely souls, um, can you imagine the shift that they felt in that household?
yeah.
When a woman
It
becomes her whole self,
yeah,
everyone gets the win.
yeah. When you move up in the balance wheel,
Hmm.
you feel better about yourself. When
Right.
you feel better about yourself, everything around you feels better. Now, is it going to solve every single problem you have in 12 weeks? No, but we have clients in so many other programs after the 12 week, because that was the first tier, if you will.
Right.
They continue to work on themselves
Yes.
because this isn't one and done. This isn't, oh, I'm transformed.
Hmm.
You continue to work on yourself. I continue to work on myself.
Absolutely.
So it's not done. But the thing here is, if you are in that static or regressive, you can make incremental changes. And I'm going to use the word incremental changes because that's how it has to begin.
Right.
You can't get there from here. It's impossible.
You know, the word that's coming to me that capsulizes this is self responsibility.
Mhm.
The only thing that will move an individual forward is if they personally,
Already.
well, take it on.
Yeah. And then are ready to do the
Yeah.
work.
Although you might not be ready if you have something that disrupts you, you may
Mhm.
just almost be forced. Like when I had my breast cancer, I wasn't ready to find my soul and to go through all of that. But you know what? It pushed me into a level of self-reflection and accountability for where my life was at that point, which on all surfaces it was perfectly great and fine. But deep down there was some deep suffering that I was not attending to that had everything to do with my self-worth, and my soul was not alive, which led me to this whole journey. And I would say this, if you've had a regressive or static year, there have been things that have been missed out, that you have missed out. And if you can take responsibility for shifting yourself this year, you will be the winner, and everyone in your life will be the winner. If you had a
Yes.
growth and epic year, please learn to celebrate. And please learn how to recalibrate that higher, better version of you so that you can continue to grow and receive and experience and celebrate. It doesn't have to be 1 year you celebrate and 10 years you're back going backwards. But often people hit that upper limit problem and they do get pushed back. Who did I think I was to have that big job? And you know what? We've seen that sometimes with some of our clients who land big, big jobs and don't keep on expanding or growing and paying attention, and they fall off. And then they convince themselves that they're not capable. And that is not true. I have a private client who could have, she could have, uh, she could have created that reality for herself, and a great job she took at the end of, or at the beginning of last year. And after 9 months into this role, she was doing a great job, but she realized the company was in such distress that she was not going to have a career move staying there. It was going to harm her career trajectory. So we worked
Hmm.
together to get her into, first of all, feeling okay about that movement forward and crafting her story about why she would be leaving so soon, which, facts are facts and information is information. She doesn't need to be oversharing. She eventually landed like twice the comp level in a
Hmm.
big resource heavy, beautiful company. And they kept her on in that previous company because they needed her expertise. So they kept her on the board of directors. Now,
Mm,
that's a
that's
beautiful
great.
thing. And I would say this, and I know she said this because she has told me personally, because we did the coaching, she was able to see things differently for herself rather than to blame herself for a bad decision, rather than blame herself for not being able to completely resuscitate this company in months where it had been going downhill for 10 years. And she was able to take responsibility for herself, realizing that it's not her job to save a company.
Right.
It's her job to have a career that she feels happy and successful and satisfied and fulfilled with, and to have the money making that she can have so she can enjoy her retirement and her long term financial status. That's taking responsibility. That's taking action. That's lifting oneself up. So she could have had a regressive year, and instead she had a growth year.
Yeah.
And I know you're probably thinking of a bunch of clients right now as I'm describing this
Oh no, I know
other
who
client.
exactly who it is
Well, I know,
because
but you're
I,
probably thinking of other clients who had
oh
similar
yes.
type of trajectories.
Yeah, because that just happens in a career.
That's right. Exactly.
But the thing is you need support to help you turn that around.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not that it happens. It's
Mm-hmm.
now what are you doing about it?
Right. Right.
In any of these categories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And if you don't have enough that are going well, you got to do something about it because you have to have at least half of these categories going pretty well, or at least you're feeling like you're making progress and doing some things that are advancing you. If you're looking for ways to turn your year around, if you're looking for ways to really take stock of who you are and what you want in life, I suggest that you check out our new beautiful Mo on the Go tool. We're calling it Moby, and it is packed with thousands of hours of my coaching and the methodology that has worked for over 10 years to help lift women and move them forward in their lives, their careers, relationships, physical health. Because, like Stacey and I had said through this podcast, when you feel better about yourself, every area of your life gets better because
Hmm.
you're taking care of yourself at a new level. Mofaul.com/Moby, Mobi. That's your on the go, always in your hand, always on your phone, always available coach where you can ask a question, you can get deep insights, and you can continue that conversation with Moby so that you feel like you have a coach who's looking over your shoulder. And I just might be listening when you're having those conversations. Some of our clients, not some of, all of our clients who have been in the early stages of using Moby have been blown away at the personal intimate, specific direction and coaching that they're getting from Mo on the go, Moby in your hand. It runs off the Telegram app. It's very private, very secure, and it's all your own personal conversation. We don't have access to it. We don't know what you're conversing with. It is your personal, enclosed, private coaching space. And our clients are raving about it. Mofaul.com/Moby. And whether you've had a regressive year, a static year, a growth year, or an epic year, continuing to have the right support and direction will be absolutely important so that you keep moving in the right direction. This year, take responsibility from within. Decide it's going to be a year where you take yourself to the next level. And Moby gives you a very affordable way to get coached and to get the support based on thousands of hours of coaching, all packed in, ready to answer your questions and issues. If you'd like a little bit more coaching than just what Moby can offer, we have a VIP package that includes a monthly Q&A call and a one-on-one coaching session directly. So check it out. It's mofaul.com/Moby. Let's get your new year to also be a new you, not just another year. Let's supercharge that with Moby. We'll see you on the next podcast episode. Stacey, thank you so much for joining
Thank
me on
you.
this conversation about how people can create their new you, their new year, and not just settle for another year. Have a great year, everyone. We'll see you on the next podcast episode. This is Coach Mo, mofaul.com/Moby.